What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Elder Scrolls Lore. Today we'll be going over the Forsworn Uprising. Now, kind of a background: Forsworn are sort of a faction in the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim, where you can potentially sort of join them. It's kind of weird how it works. You get sent to Cinder Mine after investigating the Forsworn incidents, and if you escape from them, they give you some armor, and if you wear that armor, Forsworn are not hostile towards you, but you're not officially, and I'm using air quotes, a member of the Forsworn. And you could, help them escape and kill some guards, and eventually escape Markarth, and you could actually follow these Forsworn to their camp, and they won't be hostile to you at all either. So let's get down to it. The Forsworn are men and women of the Reach. They're Bretons, which are half man, half elf, and they believe that the Reach belongs to them. Now, the Reach has historically been plagued with conflict because the region is located between High Rock and Skyrim, and the two provinces have fought over the area for centuries to control it. Now, there is a difference between Reachmen and Forsworn a bit, and we'll get to that later, but the Reachmen hold a strong hatred for Nords and do not recognize any imperial authority over the land. During the phase of the weakened empire, they actually took over Markarth. However, the former legionnaire, Ulfric Stormcloak, was enlisted to retake the city, which led to the Forsworn's defeat. Since then, the Forsworn continue to operate by conducting raids on forts and infiltrating Markarth with their agents. They worship a series of deities known as the Old Gods, which may or may not include Daedra, which most likely they do. They even cooperate with hag ravens, who often can be found at the heart of their camps too. And this is where you get the Forsworn Briarhearts, because in exchange for worship, hag ravens will actually create the Forsworn Briarhearts, which are incredibly tough and deadly warriors. The Vigilance of Stennar actually conducted an investigation for some research on them, and they figured out and concluded that the Forsworn's practices, and they do consider them a threat and will be hostile towards them. However, the Forsworn's lack of real training and strategy and organization really make them vulnerable and not a threat to the Empire per se. I mean, a major threat to the Empire. The Reachmen began their conflict after the collapse of the Riemann Empire. They seceded from the Empire, and they remained in control until Tiber Septim defeated them and conquered Skyrim. Now, however, under Tiber Septim's rule, they were allowed to continue their culture and religion, and that satisfied most Reachmen, so they did not actually pursue conflict with the Empire. However, when the Great War began, the Reach actually answered the call and aided the Empire and sent men to help the Empire during the war. However, a group of radical Reachmen conquered Markarth in the 174 of the Fourth Era. Between years 174 and 176 of the Fourth Era, they ruled as an independent kingdom and more or less ruled fairly and justly and were pretty fair. The only crimes you really see are the Forsworn agents and people who exacted revenge on those who were really cruel to them, like their I use air quotes again, Nord masters. So, but more or less, the area was ruled pretty fair. Now, when the Great War began, the Reach, rewind, sorry. However, after the war's end, Jarl Hrolfdir of Markarth called for aid, and Ulfric Stormcloak answered. This event would split the Reachmen in two, actually, and this is where you get the difference between Reachmen and Forsworn. One half left to create the Forsworn, and that's where that is the faction you sort of join in Skyrim. That's led by King Madanach, who more or less is crazy by your definition, or justified for having. If you listen to some of the stories these miners have to tell, like the one you see here, it's pretty heartbreaking, I guess, in a sense. So it gives justified reasons to be able to really be angry, you know what I mean? So other than that, you have the other half, who were left behind per se by their Forsworn brothers and kinsmen. They chose to not hold hatred against Nords or Breton alike. They decided that they were going to try to use their authority and power to try to get political ties, put themselves in positions of power, and try to rule legally like the Silverblood family. The Silverblood family has the potential to become Jarls if you chose the Stormcloak side, and even then, if you don't choose the Stormcloaks, they still run Cinder Mine and hold an incredible amount of power, and they were also considered Reachmen. So you can see how there's a difference. You know, the Silverbloods are not going to be out to just kill you if you don't do this, like if you just do nothing. But the Forsworn will, they'll attack you on sight. So it's kind of understandable to see that there's a considerable difference. One will be hostile, one will not be. But that is the Forsworn Uprising. This is going to be a relatively short video, I guess. But this is actually a very interesting concept that I found very unique and kind of doesn't get explored a lot, because the Forsworn usually just act as a thorn in the side and really stick to just around the Markarth area and the Reach. So that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this short little episode. I have another one planned coming up. I plan on doing the Riemann Dynasty after this, and it's going to be more or less talking about kind of like the Septim Dynasty I did. It's going to be talking about the Riemann Dynasty during the Second Empire, and it was incredible. I gotta say, it was learning some of this stuff. So I hope you stay tuned to it. It'll be coming out next Tuesday, and that. I hope you guys enjoy. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you like these videos, please give this a like, and please subscribe for more content like this. I post Monday through Friday. This is a relatively newer concept I'm trying. The first episode is yet to come out at the recording of this video. This is episode 3 of this series, and this will be coming out in 2 days. The next first episode will be coming out in 2 days. I hope you guys enjoy this, so I'll see you guys around. Peace.